What up, everyone? And I'm back. After a little ducking and dodging, hiding in different places, getting stuck in one multiverse over another, I am back in base prime until we end up shifting again. You know how it is in the supervillain biz. Anyways, I've been doing the Fantastic Four classic issues, and I know there's not a big amount of people who watch right now. Maybe there'll be thousands and millions of outlaws out there. But until then, I've been reviewing the old school Fantastic Four issues. And I've gotten up to 50. I've covered the Galactus trilogy. Let's do a little Randy Orton for that. But, and I will be covering more because I want to cover this run all the way until like kind of Stan Lee bails out. And I know that Fox gets a lot of shit for the movies they do, especially the X-Men movies. And a lot of the times with the X-Men movies, I do agree. I mean, like, some of them you're just like, what the fuck is going on? Why? I mean, like, it's cool, like, if you've never, ever seen the X-Men movies, never watched the animated series that was very popular around that time. Let me put this into, let me give you a little contents here. There was a 90s X-Men show, anime series, because people that have seen stuff in the 90s, people a little younger sometimes don't have the necessary information because there's so much shit on the internet, case in point, that they don't have the time to appreciate the little things. And I'm gonna sidetrack a little bit because, well, this is my fucking show. And I'll be like, there was a time when there was no internet, no cell phones. You couldn't just Google things and it magically appeared out of nowhere. Matter of fact, and as funny as it is, people used to make fun of the geeks and shit, and they would call that Star Trek shit or Star Wars shit because it was never ever gonna appear. But here it is, smartphones that have made a whole generation of people dumb. Nothing's ever passed on anymore. I remember getting a collection of music, and it was wonderful because it was all the stuff that your parents give to you, and your like different music like Sinatra, Led Zeppelin, The Doors, Marvin Gaye, Al Green, Aretha Franklin. I could sit here and just name names because I had a plethora of music that was given to me. And then moving on and then finding your own tastes. Instead of everything given to you and it's one new thing after another and one new song after another. And I think that's the problem with comic books. They're trying to do the next thing and the next thing and the next thing when the stories hold up. Sometimes you don't gotta be worried about the next big thing. You just gotta focus on the next thing. But anyways, we're talking about the Fantastic Four. Disney is gladly, well, not gladly, but have bought the rights, so I'm kind of happy that they're kind of getting worked in, But I'd like to give a little credit to the Fox versions. And yes, before I hear bitching and moaning, I know that these movies come under a lot of shit, a lot of criticism, because they're a little corny, they're a little, but some comic book movies are corny. I mean, I love Guardians of the Galaxy for the same reason. Or what about Captain America, the Star Spangled Man with the plan? I mean, it's just the way it is, It's like Schwarzenegger movies, like some of the movies that we love, comedies, even a little horror. They have a little bit of, it's the mix of it, if you know what I'm saying. And these movies, despite their faults, I thought part one actually did a good job of kind of conveying the message of what Fantastic Four was. The actors were good, and a fun fact, if some of you guys don't know this out there, the guy that plays Captain America, here, take a look again. This was his first experience in Marvel right here, and he played the Human Torch, and he did a great job. I mean, the actors they picked were really good at embracing the characters, and people talk about Jessica Alba, and they give her a lot of shit. I thought she did great. I mean, if you read the early Fantastic Fours, I thought it captured the element of what the original Fantastic Four was. Family. And if you go to my show and you review the first couple of issues or so, they were a lot like that. It was a slow burn. But the thing they changed, and I know, and I'm a big Doctor Doom fan, I'm going to be doing a Doctor Doom Kiss My Ass Club very soon. Doom pulled a few strings with me, decided to pay me a few fazools, so I'm going to do a little show about Doctor Doom. These are upcoming Fantastic Four events, because I'm going to keep covering the Fantastic Four. But, anyways, these movies were actually really not that bad, considering what it was. And Stan Lee makes an appearance in these movies. Yes, he didn't just appear in the Disney movies. Of course, he did that too. I mean, a paycheck's a paycheck. But Stan Lee was in these too. And there's a great gag in it. Spoilers. Spoilers. I'm going to say spoilers because people bitch and moan when I don't say that. Spoilers. Okay? Nah, 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 nah. There's a great scene in part 2 where they're getting married, and Stan Lee walks up and tries to get in the wedding, and that actually sort of happens in the comic books, because Stan Lee and Jack Kirby are actually characters in the comics. They were breaking the fourth wall before breaking the fourth wall became a steady thing in comic books. Oh my God! I mean, these guys broke so much ground, so much stuff, so much shit that these people whine over, or, oh, that's brilliant. They did it first. And yes, if you go to my thing and you look up some of the Fantastic Four stuff, some of it is corny. Some of it's but they were breaking new ground. The pleasant road that some of these people drive on, and they still screw up the stories. These were the guys that plowed the trees, dug the roots out, cleared it, laid the gravel down, the foundation of everything that was. So it's really worth checking it out, because this was one of Stan Lee's longest runs. Because Stan Lee was kind of like a nomad. He'd do a little bit here and then give it to one dude. He'd give it a little bit here. Alright, that was another rant. Like I said, these movies are actually kind of worth watching. They have a little nostalgia thing, and I know some of the gags are just kind of but oh yes, and I already said fucking spoilers. I know Galactus sucks in part 2, but Lawrence Fishburne as a Silver Surfer does a good job. They capture the essence of the stories, and that's the problem that I have with so many different comic book movies. Sometimes they don't capture the essence, and this really does. It gives you an idea of family. The Doctor Doom thing is different, because they didn't want to explain his complicated origin, which I will be getting into, because I want to do a villains review as well. But they do a really good job of introducing Doom as part of the cosmic blast, instead of him getting his powers through other means. The actor they picked is superb, and I hope some of the cast members come back. Of course, Chris Evans isn't probably going to ever come back as the Human Torch, but it would be cool to have the actor for Reed Richards maybe come back as the Maker. The Maker's from the Ultimate Universe that Miles Morales is from. He is an evil version of Reed Richards who locked himself in an alternate dimension, spent thousands of years working on his form, his intelligence. Basically, he found out in his form he was immortal. He is actually my favorite Reed Richards, and he's a massive villain. Imagine Reed Richards with all the savvy of 1,000 years of experience, mad, a little mad, but who isn't a little crazy? I mean, who isn't driven a little crazy nowadays? But everything in the world. So, but I digress. I hope there'd be a story like that, because maybe they'll have the new Fantastic Four. Their realities of Fantastic Four, and since they're having all these multiverses, there's an opportunity for a maker. You know what I'm saying? And this evil Reed Richards is the truth. And yes, I want you to read comics. I want you to look this up. I will be covering different things in the Fantastic Four here and there. Like I said, Doctor Doom Kiss My Ass Club's coming up soon. And we'll be having a few other projects. And like I said, give these a chance. They're fun movies to watch. They're not full of drama, they're just something that you can just kick back, watch, have a good laugh with. I mean, I don't know when comic books became so serious, like it was Ernest Hemingway. This isn't Ernest Hemingway, y'all. This is pictures with words that people enjoy. And yes, there's drama, and yes, there's comedy, and yes, but they just tell a good story. They keep you entertained. And these are actually pretty good at keeping you entertained. And if I gotta throw it out for the guys, just get out on bra panties. But anyways, Comic Outlaw, giving you an update on the Fantastic Four and what else will be going on soon. And as always, I will catch you on the flip side. Yeah.